Meet Milo. He is a smart cat, curious, clever, and always exploring how things work. One day, Milo decides he wants to print a picture of himself doing his special move called shigemi. The photo is saved on his computer, but the printer is in another room. Milo walks over to the printer, then back to the computer. He finds a cable, plugs it in, and waits, but nothing happens. He stares at the screen, then at the printer, and starts thinking. Why can't they talk to each other? This is where Milo begins to understand networking. Networking is how different devices, like computers, printers, and phones, connect and share information. It's like building a path so messages can travel from one place to another. Without that path, even the smartest devices can't work together. Milo imagines a group of cats passing notes across rooftops. Each cat is a device, and the note is the data. To pass it safely and quickly, they need to be connected in the right way. That connection, that teamwork, is what networking is all about. After some thinking, Milo checks the setup again and connects everything properly. Suddenly, the printer starts printing. The picture comes out perfectly. Milo looks at it with pride. Now he's ready to show the world his shigemi. That's what networking is. A way to connect devices so they can share, communicate, and get things done, even if you're a cat with big dreams. Milo had printed his shigemi photo, but a new thought crossed his mind. Why is networking even important? He glanced around his tech-filled space, a computer, a smart bowl, a camera, a weather sensor. Each device was useful on its own, but Milo knew they could do more if they worked together. If the camera could send pictures to the computer, he could edit them. If the weather sensor could message the food bowl, he'd get warm snacks on cold days. If his shigemi photo could reach the internet, cats everywhere could see it. That's the power of networking. It connects everything. Devices stop working alone and start working as a system. Tasks become easier, faster, and smarter. Milo nodded. With networking, the tools around him weren't just gadgets, they were a team. And every great plan starts with a strong connection. Milo had learned that networking makes his devices work together. But now he wanted to understand how networks are actually organized. He sat down at his desk, opened his notes, and started exploring the main types of networks. There are 3 basic types you'll hear about often: LAN, MAN, and WAN. LAN, local area network. This is a small network, usually inside one building, like Milo's home. His computer, printer, and smart devices are all part of a LAN. It's fast, secure, and doesn't need to cover long distances. MAN, metropolitan area network. This type connects networks across a city or a large campus. Imagine multiple buildings, like a school or a group of offices, all linked together. It's bigger than a LAN, but smaller than the internet. WAN, wide area network. This is the largest type. It connects networks across countries or even the whole world. The best example is the internet. A WAN often uses satellites, cables, and data centers to keep everything connected. Milo summarized it in his notebook. LAN is local. MAN is for cities. WAN is worldwide. Each network type has different speeds, coverage, and setup. Choosing the right one depends on how far devices need to connect and what kind of data they need to share. Milo, a clever little cat, was curious about how he could send his drawings to a friend far away. He discovered that it was all thanks to the internet, a giant network made of many smaller networks like his home LAN and others across the world. These networks are connected using special rules called protocols. When Milo sends a file, the data travels through cables, satellites, or Wi-Fi, guided by devices called routers. The internet isn't owned by one cat or company. It's shared by service providers, data centers, and users everywhere. It's like a global road system that lets information travel fast from one paw to another. Milo wanted to send a funny meme to his friend across the city, but how does that data actually move? It turns out, when Milo clicks send, his message is broken into small pieces called packets. These packets travel across the network, like little delivery boxes, through routers and switches that decide the fastest path to the destination. Sometimes they take different routes but always find their way. Once they arrive, they're put back together to show the full meme. This process happens in seconds using internet rules called protocols. So every time Milo shares something, it's like mailing tiny puzzle pieces that come together perfectly on the other side. Milo once tried to send a message to another cat, but the screen said, "Connection failed." That's when he learned about network protocols, the rules that all devices follow to talk to each other. Just like cats need a common language to understand each other, computers need shared instructions to send, receive, and understand data. Protocols like HTTP, TCP/IP, and FTP tell devices how to start a connection, break data into packets, send it, and reassemble it correctly. Without these protocols, the internet would just be noise. Now, thanks to these rules, Milo can share files, browse websites, and even stream cat videos smoothly. Milo was setting up his network when he noticed each device had something called an IP address. Curious, he found out that an IP address is like a digital home address for any device connected to a network. Just like a letter needs an exact street address to reach the right house, data needs an IP address to find the correct device. There are two main types: IPv4, like 192.168.1.1, and IPv6, which is longer and built for the future. IP addresses help routers know where to send data, whether it's a video, message, or file. So, when Milo sends a picture to his tablet, his router checks the IP address and delivers it to the right device without getting lost. While adjusting his home network, Milo noticed each device had a unique code called a MAC address. Unlike an IP address, which can change, a MAC address is a permanent hardware identifier, like a serial number, burned into the network card of each device. It stands for Media Access Control. This address helps switches in a local network know exactly which device to send data to. Think of it like Milo's collar tag. No matter where he goes in the house, the tag proves who he is. So when data is moving inside Milo's home network, the MAC address helps make sure it gets to the exact device, not just any cat's laptop.